Okay, well, when we started in 1999, we had two funds essentially back then, and that was the K2 Asian and the K2 Australian fund. There were two fund managers at that point, and we started trading with a very minimal amount of money in terms of trying to start the funds off. And the funny thing was, it was about 2 months into it that I sort of got this idea that I have a feeling that we need to record absolutely everything about everything we buy and sell right from the word go. So we got one of our girls to now go back over 2 months worth of trades, which back then looked like a hell of a lot of trades, and we re-entered it into a system where we had a consultant come in and develop our own platform to re-enter everything that we knew about those trades, going back to the 2 months that we'd traded. Currency, stock price, sector, country, which fund manager bought it, which fund manager sold it, when you bought it, when you sold it. Everything we could possibly get out of this particular transaction, we entered into a system. Now, I just had this vision that in years to come, if this goes the way it should go, this is going to be a powerful tool. So this consultant worked for us and kept developing our own in-house system, and then years later he came and joined us and brought another guy along with him. So we have two guys internally that have been working on this now for in excess of 10 years. That is the most powerful in-house system, I think, well, certainly what I've seen, but in terms of the feedback from what I've got from people overseas and in America, they've never seen anything like it. So what does it do? Okay, essentially we've got millions of transactions in there now covering the 5 funds over 16 years of funds management. And with all the data on every one of those trades, we can now really hone in on where we've made money, where we've lost money. And if a client comes to us and says, how have you gone if you were just in US dollars versus A dollars, or anything he wants to sort of say, we can run it through the system and spit out the back testing and show exactly what we would have done. To me, one of the most powerful things is really having the ability to make fund managers, good fund managers, better fund managers. And I'll talk about myself, but so they've got 16 years of my data in there, every transactions I've done in every fund. And the guy that ran it said, Campbell, do you know you're really no good at media and you're no good at oil and gas? And, you know, alpha male, you know, it's rubbish, you know, straight out rubbish, you know. I said, no, look, I'll show you, look at this. And he went through all my sectors, all my countries, well in this case it was probably Australia for me. So it was really sectors, stocks, and really chewed out where I'd made money, where I'd lost money over 16 years. And he was right, you know. And inherently, I've always tried to think I could, you know, buy and sell News Corp effectively. I knew in my heart I couldn't. And so having empirical evidence that this is how much money I've lost on News Corp over 16 years, and this is how much I've lost on Fairfax, and this is how much you've made on the retail sector, in particular, and consumer sector. And so I thought, wow, that's amazing. So essentially what it's done for me is that I just avoid oil and gas and media now. And really concentrate pretty heavily on the consumer and retail space. As well as financials, I've done quite well on financials as well. So roll that out across 10 managers, and most of our managers have been with us for over 10 years. So we have all their data. So we're rolling this out to all these guys to enable to make them better fund managers with the statistics we've got going back for 16 years. It's powerful stuff. Every fund... We've never lost a fund manager we wanted to keep, so no one's left. The average tenure's been over 12 years. So the statistics make a real impact to make fund managers better fund managers, and it has.